Hi, it's Alicia with Resilient You. I wanted to take some time to devote some special meaning to you this time of year. This is definitely a time to reflect. If we ever needed time for self-care, it is now. If you're struggling mentally or physically in the short term or something bigger, this is my gift to you. This gift is a gift of awareness. Self-awareness can be scary. It can be overwhelming. So if you feel overwhelmed and you want to turn away, maybe you're saying, no, not today. I've been there. But maybe you can join me and come to the place where you can embrace that awareness. Can you see the path that's waiting on the other side? Can you see something that you want on the other side? Can you be open to the newness and the wellness that will help you to recover and be set free? Some of the things that are important is to look at stress and see what it looks like, because each one of us has a different way of handling it, and it's not that difficult really once you embrace it. So what does it look like? You've heard of fight or flight. Fight is when you take risks. It feels primal. You're verbally saying things against other people, or maybe you're acting differently against those that you sometimes once were calmer with. How can you counter this? You can take a breath. So if you're in fight mode, take a breath. If you can let your body settle and recover from that fight mode, and you can begin to understand the stress that you're feeling and bounce back from it. Let's talk now about flight. If you are in flight, that might feel like a problem. It feels like something you want to leave, you want to avoid, you want to retreat, maybe into yourself, into your phone. How many times have you picked up a device and stayed on it instead of calmly talking about what you are facing? If you think you should be engaging, that's when you're in flight mode, right? When you think you should be engaging, but you're not. Now, how can you counter this? Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your legs feeling strong and capable. And breathe deeply and slowly to allow yourself time to explore the options, to make better choices, to make it feel less stressful. How can you make it feel less stressful so that you don't have to feel that flight mode? Now there's three other ways of stress that I would like to cover. One of them is freeze, and that's when a person might be stuck in place. You feel like you can't move. You feel like you can't make decisions. If you're feeling stressed where, your senses are blocked, maybe you don't hear things, you tune out, maybe you don't, feel the temperature in the room, you're blocked. If you feel that, you're in freeze mode. Now, how to counter it is by being silent. Believe it or not, if you're in that freeze mode, be silent and let the calm enter. Let the blankness come in, because by doing that, you'll begin to feel it pass. And then you can deal with whatever the thing is that's stressful. Flop is another one. You might not have heard this. It's new to a lot of people, but they feel dizzy. They feel disconnected. They disassociate from thoughts or feelings. This happens when your body can't cope with the stress. Maybe it's just too much. It can be short-lived, or it can last a long time. What can you do to counter this? You can counter this by asking someone to look out for you. Ask them to be there. Ask them to let you know that you are safe. Give support. Have them give you support. Tell them that you want them to take your hand in those times when you are flopping because you're, disassociated, and, you might just need time and support. Now, the fifth stressor that looks a different way is a different one, and sometimes it is useful. This last one is called fawn, and fawn is a response to stress or a threat when you move closer to that threat. You might befriend a person who's mistreating you for fear of what might happen. You might work more if it's a job or a role that you have where you might be putting in too much, more than what is good for you. The way that and I want to point out, the people do this because it helps them to feel safe. If they're doing all they can, they're doing more and more, they're just so wrapped up in it that they just, it keeps them feeling safer. Now, how do you counter that one? You can ask yourself, hey, what's going to happen if I say no? What's going to happen if I give more time to myself? When you make that change, you'll be free. So the point I would like to make is that after you can realize your reactions to stress, you can begin to cope better. You can become more resilient. If you're feeling stress, and we all have it in different ways, our family, our friends, the holidays right now, so above and beyond your day-to-day things, you're also facing more stress right now at the end of this year. So take this time, reflect, look at the face of stress and how it might appear to you. I have my book, Emotional Strength Explained, which is a self-help workbook. It has prompts in it every day. So when you work through your feelings, you begin to feel your emotions a little more deeper. You begin to realize what's healthy for you. You can then decide what is going to help you. And, if you do take that time to reflect, within 30 days using this book, I promise you will come out more resilient. You'll come out stronger, and you'll actually have a plan in place. All you have to do is just make the commitment. You can get this Emotional Strength Explained wherever books are sold. And if you're a parent, the other thing that I would like to share is we have another activity workbook. This one is actually a little bit longer than the adult version. This book has things that are for kids. They have try now exercises. They have things that explain and encourage learning. They have fun activities and questionnaires. This is a nice workbook for the child to own. You can use it with them as a caregiver or parent. Teachers, this is really good for the kids to help self-regulation. This is good to help them understand also how to be a better friend and really what makes them tick. So for the age group 4 to 7 or 8, if other people have some different abilities, this might be good for them as well in different age groups. And we have another book coming for the tweens, for the 8 to 12. So that's coming next. So get excited, people. So we know stress. We know what it looks like. We know we can apply this and see what is happening in our life so that we can react better. We can be more resilient. So when you can cope, your days go smoother, right? One of the things that is really good is meditation. All right, now I don't want to lose you here. Meditating is something that in different times in our life can be helpful. You might be doing it and you don't even know. Meditation has come a long way. Right now there's apps out there. There's an app called Calm, which I've heard great things about. There's also Transcendental Meditation, TM. It helps with a lot of things. It helps with insomnia, fatigue. It helps combat cortisol, the stress hormone that stores fat in your middle. Those of us aging, we know about this. But even the Beatles, they actually made this popular because they were following Mahesh Yogi, and I'm butchering the name, but there was an Indian guru. Transcendental meditation, TM, helps with anxiety. It helps so many ways. It keeps you calm after. So imagine you can then tackle more than you could before when you were feeling that stress. There's single syllables that you say out loud or silently, like Om. You can try it. Give it a try. I, in fact, tried this yesterday, and I honestly felt calmer. My responses to the stresses in my life were much easier. I really did feel better doing it. So look it up. You can download Calm app. And the other thing, it helps to desensitize your brain's reaction to anger and irritation. So think about that a minute. If your brain is desensitized to that quick reaction when you get angry, when you get irritated, you bark at somebody, you give a quick response, or you ever stop and think back and say, I didn't really mean to be that rude or rough with someone, but it was just a day. You're just having a bad day, a bad moment, or maybe it was just an issue. So when you have a big issue with a person or a situation, you can't think of the whole big issue. You really can't. If you break it down, if you try this meditation so that you can react calmer, you can think clearer, you can help to take small steps to work on that problem, work on yourself. So again, this is just excellent advice. This is a gift of awareness so that you can take time to reflect and start off 2023 the best way possible. There's also mindfulness. You've heard a lot about this as well. Being mindful is being intentionally aware to help yourself to become fully present. And this really helps you to quiet your mind so that you cannot be so emotional reactionary, right? You don't want to always react out of emotion. If you have drama in your life, you don't want to be that way, right? You ever have somebody who, they're the life of the party, and maybe they're always calm, they've got it together. They have this, right? They do this mindfulness. I can guarantee. There's tools for resiliency, like apps. There's exercises. This one I read about, and this was from Beth Wood at Mind Fitness. This was something that I saw, and what Beth suggests is you try this exercise. It's called Now. Try this exercise now, and do it now. NOW. It stands for Notice, Observe, and Wonder. What you do is you try the exercise to shut out the noise, allowing you to mentally regroup. So you notice, observe, and wonder. So that means don't just look at something and say, oh yeah, that's a nice, leather chair. You want to recognize how smooth the leather is, how soft the leather is. You notice it. You notice that it's worn. It means it's getting a lot of use. It's fit for purpose. You want to notice that it's new and it's comfortable. Maybe you can imagine yourself sinking into that leather chair, and then so this is all this being in the moment. Notice, observe, and wonder. You can do this in a place, about a thing. You can do this to distract yourself if you are feeling stressed, to quiet your mind so that you can regulate those emotions. Another thing, if you have more time, depending on your abilities, you can go for a mindful walk. And a mindful walk isn't just a stroll. It's not a fast-paced walk. It's a walk where you take time, you feel the clothes that you're wearing as you walk. You are feeling your feet in your shoes, taking those steps. You are feeling the breeze that might pass you by. You hear the sounds. Do you hear birds? Do you hear the leaves rustling in the wind? Do you have anything falling on your face, raindrops or mist or humidity, or do you feel heat, the sun? These are all ways that you can become very aware of your surroundings. If you practice gratitude, you can become aware of the positive things in your life. And that's really something that is great. I never had that as a child growing up. And a lot of people that I work with, they really get great value from this. Some people make lists of things they're grateful for daily. Other people download apps. There's apps for this. You can practice gratitude. You can be aware of the positive people in your life. It's not something we do, right? We go through our days, we have our interactions. But if you pay attention and notice who's positive, you might have a better reflection. How do you feel after engaging with someone? And then be grateful for that person or that interaction. If you are doing these mindful activities and you feel other thoughts come into your mind, thinking about work, thinking about what you have to do later, thinking about something, just gently push those feelings away. You'll revisit them later. Don't let them enter your mind. Just slowly, gently push those away while you do these resiliency techniques for mindfulness, meditation. And I really encourage everyone, if you have any interest in improving your life, improving your relationships, take the time that is required to make these small adjustments in your life, and you will have improvements. This has been Alicia Pisani with Resilient You. Thank you for joining us on Power 98.5. If you have extra time, listen to my other podcasts. We have a lot of exciting topics coming up. So please stay tuned. Listen to Power 98.5. We have a lot of other great radio shows. Of course, on the show, we have Stephen Cuoco, the producer, and his range is just awesome. You should see some of the guests he has on. Very intriguing, very exciting. We have Catherine Swain. She's another one who has wonderful programming, but there's others as well. Definitely take a look and keep up with your self-improvement, your self-care. It's so important in this time as we end the year 2022, as we move into the holiday seasons. Remember to take care of yourself. And with this, I give you the gift of awareness. Thank you.